Spooky!
Woo, spooky! But don't be spooky on YouTube, otherwise they'll strike you.
Don't say spook. Say
Yeah,
the
the
other
Halloween
word instead.
Spooktacular got a content strike for being nasty.
Oh, it was too
channel are we on?
much.
Are we on the
Ghost
Fortean
story.
Words channel?
I can't even remember what we did on the Halloween spook. So we just read some stories out, didn't we? Was it like didn't when they like
stories?
Oh, we got a jelly tits tower forming.
Oh. Jelly tits ass.
Yeah. So anyway, this week's and last week's episodes, I figured out the week before because I listened to a couple of podcasts. The first one was like regarding to last week with demons with that guy that did the thing, and then this week I heard about them. This is about them two fucking mad bastards. That's it. I read a podcast about those two fucking mad bastards. Arse Hobbit, you need to start arse.
I pressed the A, or my good friend
I just read the most interesting comment from a guy called Chad King. Boogie purposefully ignored the definition of castle doctrine. Frank Castle should have been able to go into his house and fuck him. This is undeniable.
Hobbit, you fucked it up. You fucked up the jelly tits ass tower.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No. This is not true. This is a fiction. This is a hoax.
Right. Oh,
hey, this Frank Castle situation is fucking getting really interesting.
Don't hassle my Frank Castle.
Right, so what are those two fucking mad bastards called anyway? I got 12. Can you remember what those mad bastards were called?
Which ones?
The mad bastards that were running all over the fucking motorway trying to kill themselves.
Oh god,
yeah, right,
those two.
Yeah,
the Swedish twins, Ursula and Sabina.
That's it, Ursula and Sabina. The thing about this was like, hey guys, I found this podcast about this pair of twins, and then it was like, yeah, we all know that story. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I miss out on this story?
I saw it live on Motorway Cops when it first happened.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it happened where I lived because I heard about it for ages. Then I found out that it was near where I live that it happened.
Really?
Fucking weird. Yeah.
No way.
Phil's theory is that they were living in Stoke and that's what drove them mad, and not the fact that they're mad.
I'm not even lying. I think that's what happens. I think that certain people haven't got the minerals to fucking survive in Stoke.
Oh fuck! Where's Flossie? We needed Flossie on. Isn't Flossie like the expert on this case?
Yeah, she's got the serial killer autism. Well, no, I mean mental people autism. But then again, all women have, aren't they? All women know fucking loads of
Fucking hell, they were bloody old when they did this. So they were born in 1967, and in May 2008 this occurred. So what were they, like 60, 40, pushing 50, weren't they? 51, 40, 41, 51, I think.
Getting close to it.
How did they get in Stoke though? That's the big mystery. So how do you get from Stoke to Sweden?
Well, basically, what happened? They were on a coach trip, and they were being weird as fuck all along on the coach trip. So the driver goes, "Look, I just don't fucking like this. You can get out of the services. Fuck off."
Yeah.
That's
they
fine.
wanted to look in their bags.
Yeah.
They were acting really suspicious, so the bus driver basically wanted to look through their bags with the security at the bus stop because of how they were acting in terrorism. And the girls basically refused to let the bus driver look in their bags, so he refused to have them back on the bus.
What, drugs? I think it's like
it did seem to me like it was drugs. It sounded more like drugs than anything else. But then it moved on to this weird fucking suicide pact, didn't it?
Yeah. Didn't one of the sisters live in Ireland?
Yeah, because one of them lived in Ireland, didn't they? She had quite a stable family life, didn't she? Then the other sister came over and it just went all fucking Pete Tong. Yeah,
the husband of the one that lived in Ireland said that when the sister turned up, everything just got turned on its head, and she started acting very strange. And then they fucked off to England, and then what happened happened. But
It started being weird.
It's not just if that was just the story, that would be weird enough. But then one of the sisters goes on to murder someone.
As you do.
Yeah.
Classic.
What, you saying that there's something unusual about that, Nordic?
Well, it's very well, you know, if it had just stayed with the motorway story of them running around the motorway getting hit by half a dozen cars, that would be weird in itself. But then the fact that one of them goes on to then murder an innocent man.
Well, not just an innocent man, but a man who was trying to help her, because it's like, oh look,
Yeah.
it's a woman in distress.
But wasn't she being like
What a
fucking
fucking
drunk and
white
weird
knight.
yet again though, weren't she? Was like drunk.
Yeah.
She was like drunk and homeless or something like that, and the poor dude tried to fucking help her out, didn't he?
Hold on a minute. How did she get drunk and homeless though? Like, if you've got a proper fucking schizoid, like, I'm not being funny, but maybe they shouldn't be in a position where they're drunk and homeless. Like, I'm
So
just
right,
saying.
so it says here, so Chris what's his name? Hollinshead. Glenn Hollinshead is the guy that got murdered. So Hollinshead took pity upon her and instead offered to take her back to his house at nearby Duke Street. Sabina accepted. So no, I'll go back a bit further than that. So anyway, leaving court, Sabina was left. The fuck?
Leaving court.
Fucking no, just a window popped up for no reason, so I can't read it. Leaving court, Sabina began to wander the streets of Stoke-on-Trent trying to locate her sister in hospital and carrying her possessions in a clear plastic bag given her to her by police. She was also wearing her sister's green top. At 7 p.m, two local men spotted Sabina while walking a dog on Christchurch Street, Fenton. What's Fenton like, Phil? Is it a bit rough, is it?
Oh, it's a fucking shithole, to be fair. That's what I'm on about.
One of the men.
You've got no
name like
videos.
Fenton.
Why is it saying you've got no videos on your channel?
I've been struck twice. I'm on my backup channel.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that called?
Is that?
14 words. Links in the doodling pad.
He even got a strike on this channel as well.
Yeah, but YouTube have gone fucking proper batshit.
Halloween Spooktacular is a definite near.
So anyway, one of them was
and
54-year-old Glenn
Nationalism
Hollinshead, self-employed welder, qualified paramedic, and former RAF man. Fucking hell, he's a man for all seasons, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got his shit together.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the other was his friend
dead.
Peter Malloy. Sabina
Yeah,
appeared
true.
friendly and stroked the dog as the three struck up a conversation. Although friendly, Sabina appeared to be behaving nervously, which worried Malloy. So this is the fucking Glenn's thinking with little Glenn, isn't he? He's thinking with his downstairs brain, I think. Do you-
Yeah, he was trying to fuck him. That's his problem.
Yeah.
Simp tried to fuck a crazy bird and got killed. Maybe that's justified. You know what I mean?
Sabina asked the
I
two
don't know.
men for directions to any nearby bed and breakfasts or hotels. Hollinshead took pity upon her and instead offered to take her back to his house nearby Duke Street.
Yeah, okay.
So you got this nervous, weird, twitchy woman with a clear plastic bag that's been given to her by the police. So you go, why don't you come back to my house? It's going to be fine. It'll be fine.
You see,
Well, it's
now
just
you
like a
phrase it that. Now you
Maybe he
phrase
just
it
thought
that
it's like
way.
a normal bird from Fenton. He was like, oh, it's a normal bird from Fenton. No, it's just normal. It is, that's just normal.
Maybe you
Just
heard like the
normal.
reputation of Swedish women. It's like, oh, I could get in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what were you going to say, Hobby? You were going to say something else, weren't you? Now you put it
Oh,
like this.
Yeah, now you put it like this because before I heard it, and I was just like, my God, that man, that was a good man, and he died.
Yeah.
And so, okay, he wanted to get his dick wet. I mean, oh gosh, like news at 10, man gets horny when he sees a beautiful woman.
trying to get dick wet leads to tragedy. That is literally.
Yes. Yeah,
men
that's
across the
story.
ages have had the same shit happen, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a story of mankind. isn't it?
Yeah.
Man went to get dick wet. Man ended up dead.
Dick
It
wet leads
sounds,
to.
it sounds a lot like a film I was watching last night called Bordello
What,
of
getting your
Blood.
dick wet?
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Kibbert said this is like a reverse Throt Patrol based.
Yeah, base.
she's the dumbass patrol, and
Yeah,
Fucking
considering
non-kid squad.
the
film I
dick
was watching
wet
that-
patrol. That's what she is. She's the dick wet patrol. Wet dick patrol. So anyway, so Sabine, so
you've called that you have drip.
So he took
gang.
So he took a drip gang, took her back to Duke Street. Sabina accepted and relaxed as she began to relate how she was trying to locate her hospitalised sister. Back at the house over drinks, her odd behaviour continued as she constantly got up and looked out of the window, leading Malloy to assume she'd run away from an abusive partner. Obviously, that's like a daily going on in Fenton, from what Phil says then.
It says. It's definitely like a daily occurrence. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's not like a joke either. That's just like real world shit. I
think that's like any city these days. I mean, my mate was telling me of like this girl, and it's like, oh yeah, she got raped by a bunch of Packies, and I'm like, yeah. And where do you live? Oh, you live in the city.
This is the next bit. She appeared paranoid too, offering the men cigarettes only to quickly snatch them out of their mouths. So this bird's obviously acting like some sort of paranoid schizophrenic. So what does Malloy do? Said, catch you later, mate. See you in the morning, Glenn.
Yeah. He ditched out, didn't he? He's like, nah, fuck this, I'm off, mate.
See you in the morning, Glenn, maybe.
Yeah.
The problem is though, when your mate's trying to fuck us, even if it's a schizo, you can't stop him. You're like, she's a schizo, she's gonna cut you up. She told me she's gonna cut you up. And he's like, yeah, but my dick's telling me I should stay. So yeah, well, fucking hell, mate.
My dick's telling me it'll be fine.
It'll be alright.
But the thing is though, they got all the worst genes of every fucking Swedish person ever. You've seen the state of this pair, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Mind you, I suppose from what you say, Phil, she's probably a looker in Fenton, isn't she?
Yeah, she fucking is. I'm being honest with you. If you live in Fenton, Fenton is the fucking worst place to live ever. It's filled with Asians. Everyone's a smackhead. It's fucking horrible. Because I live in Newcastle, docks myself, don't give a fuck. Like, it's nice, it's all white people, it's pretty, the flowers are good. Then as soon as when you get into fucking Stoke, the atmosphere changes and you know you're in a shithole. It's dead weird. It goes, oh, I'm in Stoke now. I know I'm in Stoke because I can see the greyness and the Asia and the smackheads. It's
just the
Fenton's like the half.
To be fair, Fenton does look like a shithole.
It is a shithole. If you live in Fenton, it's game over. You may as well fucking top yourself, to be fair.
You know you're there because there's the unmistakable aroma of Hindu shit and heroin.
Yeah, and rap music. You can hear rap music all over the place. It's like, I want to get out of Fenton.
Ooga booga ook ook music.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, she sounds like a Looney Tunes character. Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. The next day around midday, Hollinshead calls his brother regarding local hospitals in order to locate Sabina's sister Ursula. At 7:40 p.m, so 19 hours this dude's been trying to get his dick wet. He's been trying for 19 and a bit hours to get his dick wet.
He needs an award. Wow, he's dead now, but he deserves
He got his award.
Yeah, he got his award. Well, he's got some staying power. She's crazy as fuck. He's been at it 19 hours. So anyway, at 7:40 p.m, while a meal was being prepared, Hollinshead left the house to ask a neighbour for tea bags and then went inside. 1 minute later, he staggered back to outside, now bleeding, and told him, "She stabbed me," before collapsing to the ground and quickly dying from his injuries.
No one could have seen it coming. Absolutely no one.
Was she just trying to get out of Fenton? Maybe he like trying to get out of Fenton. She's like, the only way we can get out is by stabbing. These fuckers have got me trapped. I'm not living in Fenton.
She thought Aylesbury was better than Fenton.
As the neighbour dialed 999, Sabina fled the premises and was caught on the run by nearby CCTV. She ran out of the house with a hammer, periodically hitting herself over there. Is she fucking Daffy Duck or something?
And then didn't a member of the public spot her like hitting herself?
This is the next bit. Passing motorists saw this, decided to tackle her and attempt to take control of the hammer. Apparently it was a big hammer. It was like a lump hammer or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And while wrestling with him, Sabina screamed and took a roof tile out of her pocket. That's what makes me think of a Looney Tunes character, which just fucking pulls weapons out of her pocket.
She's fucking prepared, though. She's really fucking prepared. How the fuck did she get all these weapons? It's like, I've got a lump power.
She's a Looney Tunes character. It only comes out of her pocket if it's going to be funny. and struck
fucking
him on the
roof
back
tile.
of the head with it, stunning him temporarily. By this time, paramedics had found her and gave chase. The pursuit ended at Heron Cross when Sabina jumped from a 12-metre high bridge onto the A50, breaking both ankles and fracturing a skull in the fall. She was taken to hospital.
Oh yeah, I know
Jesus
that bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so where she was is a proper shithole as well. That is a real bad area, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, she...
But wait, there's more.
Okay, is it?
But wait, there's more.
No, that's it. Then she went to prison.
Uh,
Oh.
How long
Sabina
did she go
pleaded
to
guilty
prison
to
for?
manslaughter with diminished responsibility. Doesn't diminished responsibility just mean you're a woman? If you're a man, you have to bear the full weight of your charges. You know, it's not my
Yeah,
fault.
even
I'm
if
a
you're
woman. I was
crazy.
on the fucking rack or something. That's just what they do, don't they?
It's not
Yeah, well,
my
I think
fault.
she
He
was
threatened
fucked
me.
up.
Yeah.
Men
To be
do
fair, I
get,
don't think she was crazy because she was really prepared. Like, I don't think a normal woman would think of having a roof tile as a weapon. That is like a
Or a
schizoid
hammer.
thing. Yeah, that's really clever.
Well,
Like,
do you
I'm
remember that
impressed by
time?
her.
Do you remember that time that was it Adamant? He held that pub up with a gun and an alternator, didn't he?
It's
Face.
an alternator.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. He held up a pub with a gun and an alternator.
They'll say
clever.
you can't be. They'll say you can't be criminally insane and be incredibly smart at the same time, and it's like, well, they can. Like,
Just because they can be doesn't mean they are.
So both the prosecution and defence claim that Sabina was insane at the time of killing, although she had become sane again by the time of her trial. The defence counsel in the trial claimed that Eriksson was a secondary sufferer of folie à deux, influenced by the presence or perceived presence of her twin sister, the primary sufferer.
Folie à deux. Oh, yeah, that was it. That was a term I've never heard of before.
yeah, it's a madness of two.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
they have something a bit like that in Japan a lot, don't they? They have the mass faintings, don't they?
Yeah.
In schools, where there's
Yeah,
like
it's,
a mania
it's a
goes
shared
through the school.
delusion.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it's
a
like
shared delusion.
is a 14-1. Have you heard of the dancing plague in the past that happened in
Yeah.
around Europe, where people
yeah,
started
I've heard
dancing?
of that.
Yeah. That
They
people started
literally had
dancing for no
dancing
reason.
fever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cure for it was, we're going to force some
Voodoo.
fucking dancer. So right, you're
Oh.
all going to dance in the fucking towns, and people died. They danced themselves. It's fucking weird, really
I thought
weird.
the cure for it was boogie and disco.
Yeah. Dancing fever. Is that folly do where people just think, fuck it.
But these pair literally did think they were fucking Looney Tunes characters, though, the way they threw themselves into that fucking traffic and all that bullshit.
Should just
It's
let him. I
amazing
would
they
have let him
survived.
do it. Just let him fucking do it, innit? Really?
Well, you know, someone's got to pay for the cars to be fixed, don't they?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's far better that a lorry or a coach runs her over than a car.
Can you imagine seeing that? Can you imagine driving your fucking van and there's some fucking mad bitch with an hammer running at you, smacking herself in the head? What the fuck?
Imagine getting out
the
to fucking
fuck?
tackle her. I'd just be like, well, this problem is obviously going to sort itself out.
Yeah, there's nothing that can top that either. Like, no matter anything that happens in your life, like, people can say, "Oh, this was amazing when I did this and this," and you'll say, "I don't give a fuck what you saw. I saw a fucking mental bitch jump off a fucking bridge, and it was fucking crazy. That was like the best day of my life. It was fucking weird as fuck.
It was mint. It was
mint.
It was fucking mint.
Is there some sort of disorder though that like makes people just like complete? It's a bit like The Happening, isn't it? You know that the film's really shit, but like it's a little bit like that, isn't it? Where these two were absolutely determined to do themselves in on the Is it the M6 they were on when they tried to kill themselves?
I don't know.
Did they not want to pay the toll road? Because, you know, fuck the M6.
Well, fucking thing he paid. Old Glenn Hollinshead paid the toll, didn't he?
He paid the M6 toll.
Yeah.
Paid the simp tax, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Fuck off. He spent 19 hours trying to fucking crazy bitch. Even though his mates warned him. His mates warned him. I bet his mate was like, I fucking told him she was mental. Fucking told him.
Can you
stop.
imagine if he actually managed to dip his wick and he's like, hey, you know that crazy bird I picked up? Oh, she gave me some great sex.
Yeah, I know she smacked that bloke with the fucking clump hammer, but she was a right goer. I'll tell you that.
I think the guards in her prison are having a go on her right now.
So Sabina was sentenced to 5 years in prison, was sent to Bronzefields Women's Prison, where, hallelujah, she turned to Christianity.
Based.
I think my favourite thing about this is that line from Starship Troopers where, you know, if somebody was mentally ill, they murdered someone and they were truly fixed, surely they'd kill themselves from the horrible things they'd done. Once if they were sane and they realised what they'd actually done, they'd just top themselves.
Well, that was a bit in Babylon 5 where Brad Dourif actually plays a very good role. He was like a vicious serial killer in it, so not getting typecast or anything, but he had like a lobotomy and mind wipe, but then he becomes aware of his past and starts murdering again. Ah!
Yeah.
You could have seen that one coming, eh?
Oh God! How about this one then? I'll finish with this. Many questions, unless you want me to show the footage of them being mad bastards.
Yeah, please.
I'll find that in a sec.
Will your channel survive showing actual video?
Yeah. Many questions were left unanswered. Some called for an investigation into the way the criminal justice system handled the matter, including.
Some called for an investigation. Sorry. I'm done now. There you go.
Including Peter Malloy, an MP for Stoke South, Rob Flello. Oh, that's a fucking weird name.
What a name.
Glenn Hollinshead's brother Gary was critical of the justice system, which he viewed as enabling the murder, stating, "We don't hold her responsible the same as we wouldn't blame a rabid dog for biting someone. She is ill and to a large degree not responsible for her actions." It is kind of weird that that she wasn't fucking locked up. I mean, she was literally trying to do herself in. Because one went under the lorry and she got hit by a car, got up, jumped onto the other side of the carriageway and tried to run after a car to get run over again, didn't she? So, yeah, he's right, isn't he?
There's something not quite right here, is there? So
they've been released now then? So has she been released then? Because that was
Jesus
like 5
So
years.
she'd be out,
please,
so that's 2011 she's out. They haven't got any updates on it.
Ask for F Wolf. He'll find out.
Yeah, he's probably been through her bins. Was it Sabina Eriksson?
Don't be a dick for F Wolf.
No, don't.
Just calm down.
Be careful there.
Yeah.
When we say she's mental, we don't mean like, whoa, she's a mental one. We mean she is.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll kill you, so be careful.
Take your own roof tile, innit?
Yeah.
Just walk in and say, "Listen, love, I've got my own roof tile. You fuck around, and we'll fucking
find out."
Fuck around and find out.
Oh, I did find this in the embassy. Fucking chill, you bastard. They are ugly, aren't they? Bless them. A woman's been jailed for killing a man she met on the day. Sabina, she was sentenced to five years at Luton Crown Court on Thursday.
Luton. Oh God, I've been to Luton. Have I been to Luton? Yeah. There's an airport in Luton, right?
Yeah.
It's a fucking shit airport. There was a chinky bitch there giving me evils because I was trying to bring a wine bottle opener on the plane. It's like,
why is she so angry at that?
I'm on holiday. I'm trying. I may want to have like a bottle of wine when I'm there.
Yeah, she punched a copper, so they could have kept her in on that, couldn't they? But they obviously just didn't want to fucking deal with it, did they?
No. They were like, she's too mental, we can't deal with this, the paperwork involved and all that bollocks.
Yeah, fuck it.
Just let her go.
We'll throw it out.
She's in Stoke anyway, just let her crack on. She'll blend in with the fucking locals.
She'll blend in with the wildlife.
Yeah, she'll probably get a heroin addiction, it'll calm her down, she'll go to sleep after.
A bit on oh, that's just from a thread. I can't find out when but she must have got out. Surely she'd have got out like 2.5 years after, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
I can't find a
What's
news
she doing
thing
now?
where they're talking about her actually getting out, though. That's the only problem. Would be
Can you
nice to
imagine
have.
whoever's poked
Which
it,
one
someone
was
who's
it?
poked, yeah.
Was it Sabine or Ursula?
Sabina was the one that got imprisoned.
Sabina the teenage witch. Remember? Sabrina, I mean.
The teenage murderer.
Yeah.
Teenage
The roof
bitch.
Where did she get the roof tile from? Like, I want to know where she got that from.
Well, she
Where did-
I told you she's a
probably
Looney
jumped up
Tunes
onto the
character.
roof.
She can get whatever she wants out of her pocket.
I think she stole all this stuff from Hollingshead's house.
Mm.
'Cause
I'm
I think,
going to climb to your roof now. I fancy a roof tile. Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
you like, love. Gosh,
Yeah, I think he had like roof and stuff
Ghislaine
in
Maxwell
his
last in that other case. Sorry, guys.
Hey,
On
X
X.
Clown X. X gun give it to
Ghislaine
you.
Maxwell, how many months was she last before she gets wasted or gets smuggled
Didn't you
out
say
of
she
there?
had a black eye the other day?
Yeah, it's the black eye, and the people. I do admit that I have a love hate with the annoying memes of the Illuminati one eye and the horns and all that stuff sometimes, but definitely people have showed that these celebrities and like General Madison, these people, I don't know, or that Mormon guy that used to be a senator, they come out and they have these
one of the
black
Bushes,
eyes. And
yeah,
it's
I couldn't
bizarre,
remember.
and they deliberately took a picture of her. Yeah, it's usually one eye. Now, admittedly, some of them look like people were bashed, but then it was that weird story that President Bush fell and he slipped on a pretzel and he had a black eye. It's
He
just
slept on a
bizarre.
pretzel.
oh,
That's like the
choked on
most.
a pretzel.
He choked on a pretzel.
That is, yeah, it's very American, that choking on the pretzel.
Mm.
Fucking horrible pretzels. Like, it's like the worst thing you can have, I think.
I quite like
them.
pretzels.
I don't know, I
I've
don't
got a
like
big.
them.
I bought some for Christmas. I still haven't yet.
Jewish, aren't they?
Some people
Pretzels.
replied that it was intense, sexual activity among men, that kind of thing. Other people said that these elite people get out of line and somebody just bashes them in the head and it sort of shows the others.
Probably.
There is a lot of these memes, and you get the idea that you're supposed to know what they're talking about, but they don't say anything.
Bruce
Oh,
Kibbett
well,
says
they-
maybe Brutus could use his alpha energy to dominate and rehabilitate.
He would, yeah. So get in your fucking cage, you fucking silly bitch.
There we go. We found the cure for Sabina's mentalism. Brutus
Is this
gonna
why-
sort her out.
Is this why Brutus is like this? He's like, well, I know these fucking girls, and let me tell you, they gave me the perfect justification for the fucking cage. Because they were fucking mental. Running around all the place, roof tiles, in dot
They had
armors.
it coming. They absolutely had it coming.
How about, have you ever heard of sisters June and Jennifer Gibbons? Dubbed the Silent Twins, they spoke their own language,
Oh, the
became
black
criminals, and repeatedly tried to murder each other. As the only black girls in their small Welsh town, they felt ostracised at a very early age because the racisms did it to them and spoke only to each other. But the girls kept countless journals full of individual feelings of being tormented by each other and expressed desires to gain independence by killing off the other sister. The twins also took up crime. They turned to theft and arson because, as June wrote, no friends, nothing else to do, nothing to fill the cold hour. See, this is what happens when you racisms with twins, with poor black twins.
There is
Shirley
there
Bassey?
is some truth to it, though. There is some truth to it. I read some data, mate, in the past, and it does prove that if you're an ethnic minority, you even if you're white, like if you're a white person in a black area or whatever, you're more likely to develop like serious psychosis. This is a good argument against immigration. It's like, listen, you're coming into a white area, your chances of developing a mental health problem are quite fucking high, to be fair.
It's
And
almost
this
like
is what
not
happens.
living in homogenous area causes like
it does.
problems and
It's
disquiet.
not even about other people. It's not white people being racist or anything. It's just that this would happen to me and you if we moved to fucking Chinatown. You're more likely to go a bit mental just because.
I can't find anything about what happened to her. Like the one that was in hospital, she got out of hospital, went back to Sweden, and then from Sweden went to the United States. But the other one, there's absolutely nothing about.
I think they
it. There's
both
a lot
went
of
to.
talk
I think
of cover up.
I'm sure the other one went to America because that's what they said at the end of the podcast I listened to.
Yeah, Ursula went to America after going to Sweden. She went to Sweden first. Then
I think Sabine joined her later on when she got out.
But there's a lot of talk of cover-ups and why
the whole thing's very,
footage...
very weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because the footage was anonymously posted on the internet in 2012.
Mm.
And they were talking, the police were talking in the video about putting her under 136, which is a mental health barring. So that they hold you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they could have kept her in for the assault, couldn't they? To sleep it.
Yeah,
I mean, because if you were drunken like that, they'd probably keep you in just to let you sleep it off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you'd section them off. The police are allowed to section you off.
Mm. Or at least hold them until they could get a doctor to look at them. There's a million things they could have done, but they couldn't. They couldn't be bothered, not interested.
I remember talking to a. I was talking to a mental health worker once, and they said that the criteria for police to be able to get someone sectioned, the criteria is so fucking high that actually the police find it really hard to get people sectioned.
Mm.
And it's because of the mental health failures in our country. It's mainly because of that. Because our mental health services are fucking shite.
Well, speaking of mental health services, I'll finish off this story. The fantasies of hurting each other became a reality. Jennifer strangled June with a telephone cord. June tried to drown Jennifer in a river. But they remained inseparable and later forgave each other for their transgressions. When they were caught burning down a barn in 1982, they were diagnosed as psychopaths and sent to Broadmoor. When they turned 29, the girls made a pact that one of them had to die for the other to survive. On the day of their release from Broadmoor, Jennifer suddenly died due to an inflammation of her heart. The exact cause remains unknown. Since her sister's death, June has lived a quiet life near her parents in Wales. She's no longer monitored by psychiatric services and has sought to put the past behind her.
Is this the twins that didn't talk?
Yeah, they're called the Silent Twins, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing them on a documentary about Broadmoor.
Mm.
To Broadmoor for a relaxing stay.
There's been some interesting people in Broadmoor.
Yeah, just a few.
Including Jimmy Savile.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, apparently she was paroled in 2011.
Who? Sabina?
Yeah, according to this thing here.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. Her parole date was set for 2011. And as she's a woman, she's obviously going to get her parole.
Yeah. Speaking of twins, are we going to talk about the two most famous twins? Ronnie and Reggie Cray.
Ronnie and Reggie.
Yeah. They may have murdered people, but at least they loved their dear old mum, didn't they?
Yeah, but didn't they like little boys?
Oh. So they loved the mum and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? So you're saying there's something wrong with what they did?
Because there are a few conspiracy theories about why the Crays were locked up, weren't there?
Yeah. They were crazy. That's why they got locked up.
Yeah, they were fucking psychopathic, weren't they?
Yeah, psychopaths.
Because back then the police didn't care if they were doing it to each other. It was when you started going after civvies, that's when they'd sort you out, wasn't it?
Yeah, they didn't really care about the underworld killing each other because they'd just arrest the last person to survive the gang fight.
Yeah.
That used to be the way they did it, to be fair. They'd just let them crack on with it and then just arrest whoever survived.
Yeah, exactly.
Something about that system seems a bit more equitable, but maybe that's just me.
Well, it's not equitable if you run like a fruit shop on their manor or something, and you either pay them £100 a week or have your fucking windows put in.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. There is that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you end up like paying insurance no matter where you are, so it's just a case of how much are you paying.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you never really buy protection, do you? You buy not having your shop smashed up. That's all you're buying, isn't it?
Okay, I'm going to be showing my libertarian priors here.
Yeah,
but
okay.
You don't really want to buy insurance.
Okay, Sargon.
Yeah. if you don't buy it, the state will use its force to like fuck with you. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between that and the gang? It's just uniforms and they're better paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Police are the biggest gang around, man. I mean,
yeah,
come
man.
on, man. Gotta fight the system, man.
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 To be fair, it's technically not wrong. The police is the biggest gang in the UK.
Yeah. Got 12 pairs of 12 pairs of tins, 12 pairs of tinnies.
Don't you ever have to be a pretty big hooked up Freemason to get a decent job with the cops over there? Or
no, you just have to be a cultural Marxist, don't you? I know that's going to upset
I was
Phil.
going to say common purpose
Really?
superseded the Freemasons. I think the Freemasons have become largely irrelevant now. It's just common purpose and other secret. Well, common purpose is kind of those like public secret organizations like the Freemasons.
Yeah, common purpose is how you get it now, isn't it? You just go on a course and then you're laughing, aren't you?
I mean, Cresta Dick is through and through common purpose.
The backbone of Western civilization, the professional British police officer, the Bobby that we all marveled over worldwide, is now a bunch of commies.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Shit.
Yeah, I miss my old local Bobby. His name was John in the States.
Who doesn't miss a 6'2" brick shithouse? Who can sort out any situation with a fucking truncheon and his shirt sleeves rolled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Are they big guys like that still, or?
I mean, back then, wasn't the uniform like navy blue trousers and a white shirt? Now they all look like execution.
Yeah. Well, it's a blue shirt, wasn't it? It was like a pale blue shirt, and then they wore like the jacket over the top, didn't they? Which was like a kind of
they had
just like a suit
fancy
jacket.
hat as well.
Yeah.
Now they look like they're a semi-military force. They're
paramilitary. The hat as well was to give extra height, wasn't it, and appear more intimidating.
Yeah.
So you got like a 6'2" brick shithouse. Then he's got his tit on the top of his head, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But that was the other thing. Like I've seen like police going around with baseball caps, and it's like I can't take you seriously wearing a baseball cap. That's what champs wear.
Yeah,
well,
what are
do you
you,
know
Timmy
what
Mallet?
the baseball caps are? The baseball caps are an
They're bump
inclusive
caps.
item. They're new for the police. They're because the women wear the baseball caps. It's like a unisex uniform item.
Yeah,
New
They're
hats.
They're bump caps as well. They're not just baseball caps. They're bump caps, aren't they?
Yeah. A lot of them
Seriously,
now
over
use
here.
them.
In the States, if you earned the Green Beret, that was something. Only a few guys could get it, and then they let the whole army have berets, and it lowers the standard.
Well, yeah, if you remember, the policemen and policewomen used to have two completely different hats. But because of sexism and everything, it's just baseball caps now. They all wear the same fucking hat.
Jesus Christ.
So,
how about this pair, Edwin and Edward Burnt? In 2011, the 48-year-old Burnt twins, Edwin and Edward, were charged with ending their 88-year-old mother's life after neighbours reported they hadn't seen her in months. Officers went to the house in Houston, which was a deplorable state, found the mother face down on the floor. The twins said she'd slipped and fell. They also said they had left her lying there for 3 days before she eventually passed. She was reportedly conscious the entire time. After her passing, they continued to live in the house for 3 months, walking around and over the body, but charges were eventually dropped because of the twins' mental states.
Fucking hell, Nordic thinks it's hard to get sectioned, lol. Catch me on my 15th tinny and I'll show you how it's piss easy. Good old John.
Hey, I think one of the part that we got to mention with these twins as well is like they can make their own languages. Like there was these two ginger twins in Skins, and they came up with the language of Twinish.
Well, it's not made up. It is actually Twinish is a language. Twinish is a language that twins speak, especially identical twins. So I went to school with identical twins, and they used to speak a totally different language.
Well, that's the point. It's just like they come up with their own language, which they had made up. It's
but they understand it. Like they don't even necessarily have had to told the other person what the words mean. They'll just say it, and the other person automatically knows what it means. Like they've got a shared psyche.
This is actually, if there's a Venn diagram of like 14 episodes of true crime and woo woo, I mean, this makes me quite happy because we've got both true crime and woo woo. Because the fact is,
Well, twins are woo woo, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you got to ask like what's happening with their souls? Is it one soul and two bodies?
Yeah.
But
is it a shared consciousness?
well, yeah, because telepathy is. I mean, telepathy is one of those things which I think will get gradually more and more accepted. And one of those things about the acceptance will mean that. Hang on, I've got to concentrate on this. Is like, for example, telephone telepathy is one of those things that's one understood. Siblings or children will often know when their parents are about to die. And another thing with that is like the come on, brain, you almost had it there. Yeah, twins. They come up with their own languages. They communicate non-verbally.
Well, I was reading a thing about twins, and they call normal people singletons.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, non-twins. I don't mean normal people, but even triplets and things like that. I think the bond must be stronger with twins though than it is with triplets, mustn't it? Or do you think having a bigger group would have a bigger effect?
Do you remember what they called it, Octomum? What are her 8 twins?
Oh God, she's a massive piece of shit. She isn't she?
Yeah, just a bit. But I mean, what are her twins going to be like, eh?
Yeah, because there are. Oh fuck! I'm just having a look at some conjoined twins, famous conjoined twins. Do you remember Laurie and Reba? They used to. They were joined at the head. They were on. Jerry Springer, were they?
Yeah, and I think Louis Theroux interviewed them as well.
Yeah, they're what's called craniophagus conjoined twins, two people who are both connected at the head. This prevents a difficult challenge for medical professionals who wish to separate conjoined twins. They can live as individual independent people. Craniophagus conjoined twins occur in 1 out of 2. How are they born? That's the weird thing, isn't it?
With great difficulty.
Yeah. So, because one of them's going to have to come out feet first, don't they?
Well, they're probably born by cesarean section. Hemi.
Yeah.
Anything that's conjoined is probably going to be a C-section.
Yeah. So
what the fucked up twins from The Shining? Sorry.
Yeah.
Those twins. Yeah.
They're looking alright these days, aren't they?
It's in all of the. There's loads of fucking moon landing fucking things in The Shining, isn't there? Like the floor and the jumper and
a lot of these guys have deciphered strange messages. I saw that when he's going up a stairway, ominously going after the wife, he definitely does the hook 'em horns or the Satan mudra thing. Back is back. Sorry, guys.
So there's Erin and Abby Delaney, another example of craniophagus twins, conjoined twins who were born on the July 24th, 2016. Be interesting to see where they are now. The two were fused at the top of their heads. 10 months later, the twins were separated in an 11-hour surgery that required a team of 30 healthcare professionals. It's rare that such twins can be separated. The procedure was exceedingly difficult because they shared vital blood vessels needed for their brains to function. One mistake and both could have died. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's a miracle they managed to pull that off.
What's that separation?
Yeah, that's joined at the head. That's joined at the brain.
Yeah, so I think I read something about that. It's amazing how they pulled it off.
Yeah. Oh, Abby and Brittany Hensel. Do you remember those two? They're the two that can be pictured in a bikini. There's a picture of them in a bikini, isn't there? So they're what's called dicephalic parapagus twins. This means they share one body yet have two separate heads. They have two minds with individual thoughts and different. Because can't some of them? Don't they share thoughts as well sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, even the twins which aren't like co-joined, they do have telepathy, and they. This is why I question like what's going on with their souls. It's Bruce Kibberts in the chat says IVF is an abomination, and he's probably right about that. there's something about that which is too.
That creates a lot of twins, doesn't it? IVF.
Yeah, but it's easy to say IVF if you're not someone that needs to fucking use it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I know plenty of people that have had to use IVF because that's their only chance to have a child. So maybe think about what you say before you say it. Because
infertility is terrible. Yeah, I know. Infertility is terrible. It's one. This is one of those things in our world. It's just more and more people are infertile. And
Jesus Christ! How about this one then? Masha and Dasha Krivoshlipova.
Go on, for you to say.
Yeah, easy. Were born in the former Soviet Union on January 3rd, 1950. As Ichthyophagous tripus conjoined twins, they are fused together at the waist with their bodies contorted into a 180-degree angle. So basically, you've got the legs, and then the two bodies are shooting out to the side.
That sounds like the Thing.
It sounds fucking nightmarish, doesn't it? They had two sets of almost everything, however they only had one pair of legs shared by both. From the waist down it was as if they were one person, from the waist up they're two different people. But their tale became dark and tragic when they were removed from their mother's care by Soviet authorities shortly after birth. This had to be done, otherwise you couldn't have had industrialisation, could you, Albert?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be done.
Yeah.
It's just part and parcel of industrialisation.
Yeah. Eventually, the twins became test subjects for government medical authorities. To see how the girls would react, they were subjected to experiments that led to near death, like extreme temperatures, isolation, and sensory deprivation. Eventually, they developed vastly different personalities that simply clashed. Dasha tried to hang herself at one point when Masha, a more dominant personality, wouldn't allow a relationship between Dasha and her lover. The pair died in 2003, aged 53, when Masha had a heart attack. With a shared circulatory system, Masha's decomposing body gave Dasha blood poisoning. Yeah.
But that's interesting, though. So she had a heart attack and died, and then the circulatory system of the twin did not keep her alive. So this is the thing. It's not just that when your heart dies, you die. It's not just because the blood stops circulating around. The heart you do think with your heart, and it's been proven that a significant amount of synaptic material, it's not just in the brain, it's also in the heart, and it's in the gut. So when you got a gut feeling, it's because, you're actually thinking with your gut. And now I'm wondering, is there any synaptic endings in the dick? Because, like, thinking with your dick is a thing. Or maybe that's not true.
How about this one? Have you ever heard of Chang and Eng Bunker? So they think these are the original Siamese twins. Because it's the alternate term for conjoined twins that came about because the bunkers were from Siam, modern day Thailand.
Siamese,
I am Siamese, if you please. Remember that one from
Ching Chong Chang.
Born in 1811, the twins were brought to the United States in 1829 to perform in circus sideshows. Initially, the two were exploited like slaves. Some Westerners saw keeping the poor Ching Chong down. Some Westerners saw in the bunkers nothing more than the ability to make lucrative profits from a rare condition. Eventually, the bunkers were able to break free from their managers, who kept all the money from the twins' performances, and become citizens of the United States. Acting as their own managers, the twins became quite wealthy. Each of them married, had several children. In fact, Chang had 11 kids and Eng had 10. That's gonna be weird.
It's like, really? Like, I guess they had a load of money to do it, but, like, at what point did you think... Was it a competition? It's like, oh, you have baby, no, I have baby.
Have they got the same piece, have they? It's like, how does that work out with the missus?
Assume it's different wives, or maybe like they had a harem of wives, because like 11 births to one wife, that's a lot. You know, you might need a hip replacement after all that.
Fucking hell. In the end, Chang suffered a stroke which paralysed him. Eng had to drag Chang around with him until Chang died in 1874 at age 62. Eng died a few hours later. Imagine that.
What does he need a stroke for when you've got a missus that gives you 11 children? Hey, the doctor said I could have a stroke at any time. No, he said I could touch myself anytime. No, he didn't say that. He said you could have a stroke at any time. Oh, well done, the Hobbit. You ruined your own joke.
Oh, I've got
Oh,
10
God.
extraordinary tales of extraordinary twins. So the psychic twins, Linda and Terry Jameson. I think I can do a bit. I've got quite a bit to talk about them. I'll talk about them a bit later. The oldest mother to give birth to twins, Omakri Panwa, born 1938. Twins born 2008. Hobbit. 70-year-old Omkari Panwa and her husband from 77 from India already have 2 adult daughters and 5 grandchildren. Male children are especially important among India's Hindus. Only a male can carry out funeral rites, and female infanticide remains a chronic problem. India superpower 2020. Largely because the dowry system, though banned, is commonly practiced, their male child will also be able to work the family's land. To pay for IVF treatment to producing a male heir to the family's small holdings, they sold their buffaloes, mortgaged their land, and spent their life savings and took out a credit card loan. Surely they would have just been better off marrying the daughters off, wouldn't they?
I did get. I don't know about that. I got curious whilst you were saying that, and I thought, have any like identical twins given birth to identical twins?
Yeah.
And there's this article here from one of those. Oh, who cares where it's from? Identical twin sisters who married identical twin brothers all live together and have babies at the same time. Do they share the same bed as well? Is that what's going on there? I mean, I'm guessing they're like, we need identical twins to marry us because.
Well, have you read any of those stories about like twins that have been separated since birth or something like that, and they get together and they find out they've married a woman with the same name, got the same job, all this weird shit that's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's almost like
a lot of them meet down the pub as well, don't they? They'll meet in the fucking local pub and they're like, "Oh, you look very similar. What's your name?" And then they'll talk and they'll find out they're twins, won't they?
I was just talking with James, and he said, what did you talk about? My name's John."
Yeah,
what? I thought you were James. So, okay, there is a lot of weirdness about this. Brittany and Brianna Dean, 33, fell pregnant around the same time with their partners Josh and Jeremy Soliers.
Do you think like one of them feels horny and then the other one gets like the psychic messages, so they feel horny as well? Do you think that's how it occurs?
Well, they live in the same bloody house, so if they...
that's creepy.
The foursome met at a festival for twins in 2017, and the Soilers blokes proposed 6 months later, following a whirlwind romance. They had a joint wedding on August the 5th, 2018. Of course they had a joint wedding. I mean, they live together. They probably sleep in the same bloody bed. Do you think they ever
No,
get,
I didn't see that. You watch Carl Pilkington, don't you, Hobbit? You ever seen the one where he spoke to the conjoined twins in India and asked how they had sex with men? He's like ancillary to Ricky Gervais, so for that reason I don't watch it. Do you think, I'm looking at these two now. I'm pretty sure they do interdimensional lizard test. They had to use the word foursome, didn't they?
I am sure that they have done wife swap before. They probably just had an orgy at the same time. The foursome met at festival. They did a joint wedding. Now Brianna and Jeremy have a son called Jax, and Brittany and Josh have a son called Jet. Jeremy showed off the first snap of Jackson a week on Instagram and wrote, "I am so proud of my beautiful wife Brianna." Oh, hang on. No, wait. The other one. I'm so of my wife Brittany. and how well she did. And oh god, they wear the same clothes and everything. This is a fucking cult. This is a bloody cult. She was so strong and brave and did an amazing job. I am thankful that our boys will grow up together. So they're not identical twins, but they're like boys born like from identical twins. They're both they like these. So they will be cousins. But can you have identical cousins?
Do you think they could actually, in that case, they could turn like having twins into like a dominant gene or something?
Well, I look at this and I'm thinking, like, are they going to like try and like have like, is this their first identical cousins?
Identical cousins. That'd be weird.
Is that a thing? Well, no. Everything about this is weird and bizarre. And, like, I'm disturbed. But all I want to know is just like, was there an identical twin that's given birth? And it's like, oh, you've given birth to identical twins. And then I find this story where they're just like doing a weird sex cult where they live together, and I mean, it doesn't say in the article, but guaranteed they've got like a king size bed they all sleep on. It's just like all these photographs where they're posing together in identical clothes with the same looks on their faces. Like, you might as well just have like one couple with a mirror. That's how they look.
How about this one then? There's a pair of black and white twins, Alicia and Jasmine Single. Alicia and Jasmine were born to a mother of a Jamaican English descent. Jamaican English descent? She's not Jamaican or English. Are you Jamaican English?
Here we go. Brucey, he says the cousins should be the same genetic difference as brothers. Yeah, because I mean they're identical twins, so it's just like one's you're the aunt, and that's so weird.
Yeah,
can't get my head around it.
So anyway, the mother born to a mother of Jamaican English descent and a father of German descent. Alicia's eyes are brown and her hair is dark. Jasmine's eyes are blue and her hair is white. Genetic experts' explanation for this very unusual occurrence is that mother has a mixture of genes that determine skin colour. When egg cells are formed in the mother, a random selection of genes will be allocated to each egg. The set of chromosomes in each cell is unique. In most cases, a mixed race woman's eggs will be a mixture of genes for both black and white skin. In very rare cases, the eggs may contain genes for a predominantly one skin colour. In this case, the mother released two such eggs, one with predominantly dark pigmentation genes and one with predominantly fair.
That's unusual. That's really strange. There was it's not related because she's not an identical twin, but have you ever seen the chief of the Queensland Police and they say it's the first Aboriginal one?
Yeah,
and
you said she looks white, didn't she?
And then you look closer and you realise that actually no, that's not European facial features. But it looks so much like it, and then it's like, but it's not. It's so strange. This world is strange.
I think they might be Australian because Brucey Kibbert says, LMFAO, play the clip from the Aussie TV where the woman says good on her about the white twin.
Oh, good on her. Good. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good old Sheila. That is. Oh, she had a multicolored root. Oh, that's Rainbow Nation. That is.
Is it? No, I think he's talking about. Oh, okay, something else. So the telepathy twins, Richard and Damien Poles. Have you heard of these two? Even though the idea of a special connection between identical twins is often myth and legend, little research has been done in this field. What? So, of course,
it's not myth. It's real.
No, they haven't done research in it. They just happen to have not done research, and it's just an accident, bro. They just happen to have not done any research in his field of it.
Oh, it's just a myth.
Only one person had the balls to ever do research into this, and they call him an inhumane monster for doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, is that they don't want to get tarred with the same brush, so they don't do the research?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Thanks, Germany.
Yeah.
Once again, ruining science for the rest of us.
Nationalism, ruining nationalism, ruining fucking science for everyone.
They didn't, though. They didn't ruin science, because actually the amount of stuff that we've taken from them that we've used in modern day medicine, like we might be.
Well, apparently, I heard when I was training to be an electrician apparently they learnt a lot about being electrocuted from the death camps. Yeah. So I think they were electrocuting them, I think.
Probably.
I think that's more likely. Mr. Edison's research shows what happened with electrocutions.
I believe it's called. I believe it's called being Westinghouse, Hobbit.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah. That's what Edison did. Edison electrocuted people and called it being Westinghouse, didn't he? He wanted to, because Westinghouse was Tesla's backer.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, because he had that whole thing about my direct current is safe, but Tesla's alternating current kills elephants. So he would have elephants and be electrocuting them in public spectacles. And okay, that's a bit extreme, bro. I mean, isn't there another way you could demonstrate the beginning of electricity was really weird. But that's
so anyway,
probably for
these psychic twins, this is pretty interesting, Hobby. You'll enjoy this. The book Twin Telepathy claims an overwhelming body of evidence indicating there is indeed a special connection. One of the experiments involved 8-year-old Richard Poles, who was put in a soundproof room in front of a bucket filled with ice-cold water. On command, Richard plunged his arm into the ice-cold water, giving a gasp as he did so. In another room, well out of sight or earshot, his identical twin brother Damien was wired up to a polygraph. A polygraph expert monitored his respiration, abdominal muscles, pulse, galvanic skin response, sweat on the hands. All Damien had to do was sit quietly and tune into his brother's feelings. At the exact moment of Richard's sharp intake of breath caused by the freezing water, there was a sudden blip on the line monitoring Damien's respiration rate.
You just mentioned the term galvanic skin response, which I always understood for resistivity. But when they sort of talk about zinc galvanized steel, what's that then? That's just plated with zinc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do they call it galvanized?
Oh, I bet this one then.
Why not just
don't know.
call it zinc plated? Well, I demand answers, Hemi. We can't just move on because you don't know.
Well, let's finish this one. Then we'll look at galvanisation. In another experience, Richard was asked to open a cardboard box. In it was a huge rubber snake that jumped out at him. This too was instantly picked up by his twin, as the pulse line on the chart clearly indicated. The book also concludes there are 3 especially telepathy-prone groups: mothers, newborn babies, dogs and their owners, and identical twins. Of these, it's the twins who pick up the signal at full strength most often, provided they're in the right states of mind. The image above is a stock photo, as no pictures could be found of Richard and Damien.
Briefly going on into that, there is also, I'm going to call it telepathy because I don't know what better term to describe it, in bacteria. And an experiment was done in a Faraday cage, of all things. So there's no way there could be any just to like rule out every single thing. So a Faraday cage, it's just
Interdimensional Lizard says galvanized is named after Luigi Galvani, an Italian physician.
Mr. Galvini. Right, okay. Let me try and explain. You've got an experiment. You've got a culture of live yogurt, and you split the live yogurt in half, and you put it on the 2 petri dishes, and you have one is the control. One is the one you're monitoring, and the other one's the one you're going to conduct an experiment on. So this one, and they're in 2 separate rooms, separated by a Faraday cage. So there's no way any electromagnetic communication could go from one room to another. The rooms are fairly soundproofed as well. Not that you can hear bacteria scream, but I assume that's like a thing. So there's that. And the bacteria which was in the control room, they were boiling water was poured on them. And when you pour boiling water on live yogurt, the bacteria die and they release like a stress hormone. There's basically like a way, like when bacteria die, they give off like a signal like we're in pain here. Like even bacteria experience. But I mean, this is one of the things I try to explain with vegetarians. Like you do realize that everything you eat, it's all living. Just because it's got a cute face on it, you feel like feelings for it. So the bacteria in the other room experienced exactly the same responses to the one that... Actually, I need to find out more about the experiment. Did the bacteria in the other room die? Or was it just like, experiencing the same stress response? But either way, the experiment proved that the bacteria communicated pain to one another despite being in the Faraday cage. So there's like no electromagnetic communication. So there's some other form of communication, not on the electromagnetic spectrum that's happening. And this, again, is related to twins because telepathy is real. We should do an episode about it. And I'm sure nearly everybody's experienced. In fact, I would like to meet someone that's experienced no telepathy whatsoever, because that would be what's called a psychic blank. And that would be a very interesting creature.
Right, what else have we got here? You heard about the Kaptain and Valentin from Romania are twins with different years of birth. Kaptain was born in December, 2 months premature. The doctors were able to wait and deliver a second son, Valentin, 2 months later in February. So they're twins that are born 2 months difference. Romanian doctors attributed the time lag in birth to a rare congenital condition that gave the twins' mother 2 uteruses due to a congenital malformation that occurred when she was herself an embryo in her mother's womb. Approximately 1 in every 50,000 women has a double uterus, but the hospital believed this was the first case where a woman had become pregnant at the same time in both wombs and given birth nearly 2 months apart. The 2 brothers were both healthy when they were released from hospital on the same day.
Weird. That is.
What about
weird.
the half brother twins? This is holy fuck. Wilmer
How
and
does
Willem.
that work?
I'll tell you in a second. Wilmer and Willem Stewart, a Dutch couple, had been unsuccessfully trying to conceive for years and decided to try IVF. They soon learned they would be parents of twins. When the 2 boys were born, Cone had blue eyes, dark hair and pink skin. Chewen had dark eyes, dark hair and brown skin. A DNA test revealed that Cone was the Stewart's child, but Chewen was not William's. The report of the investigation has not been made public, but speculation is that a piece of lab equipment called a pipette, like a large eyedropper, had been used twice, causing another man's sperm to be mixed with William's.
This is something which is important to me. Like it's Wikipedia will say it's a bunk science, but telegony is like it is a science which is known about and it is real, and I say it's important. It is important, and it's understood. Like for example, with like bird breeding, like if you've had a dove which has been bred with a pigeon, it will only produce greylings from then on in. It won't produce doves ever again. So it doesn't matter whether it goes with a dove afterwards. It always produces greylings. And this is to warn people of the dangers of race mixing, because you could end up with greylings in birds.
Have you ever heard of the experimental twins, Alicia Shine and Paula Bernstein, born 1969?
I'm
Alicia
hoping
and
someone in
Paula-
the chat will say, but Hobbit, human beings aren't birds. Race mixing's okay.
Yeah. I'm sure someone in our chat will say them race mixing's okay, Hobbit. Elise and Paula were born to a woman with schizophrenia and put up for adoption. Child psychologist Dr. Viola Bernard, a consultant to the adoption agency, believed the twins should be separated to improve their psychological development.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm trying to think. I don't get that at all.
Do you think like people back then were just like, "LOL, let's do this. This will be funny." Hey, maybe I can write
this will be a
research
giggle
paper about this. Yeah,
we'll just blame Mengele for it. So Elise knew that they'd been adopted, but neither one knew they were twins. When Elise turned 33, she decided to contact the New York State Adoption Information Registry to look for her birth mother. It was then that she also
mother.
She also had a twin. About 6 months later, the twins were reunited. What makes this story even more incredible, it was also discovered that Alicia Shine and Paula Bernstein were part of a secret nature versus nurture study by Dr. Neubauer.
Oh yeah. You just like, let's separate twins at birth and see
And it's
what happens.
I'm sure if we look at Dr. Neubauer and Viola Bernard, we'd probably they studied under Dr. Mengele. Do we think, or do you think?
You know, I think I actually remember it more likely studied under Dr. John Money. I think I remember doing about this guy in bioethics. It's a class I did, and there was like this.
But it's all right though, Hobbit, because Neubauer was a noted child psychiatrist and studied 5 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets who were all deliberately separated at birth. LOL.
Yeah, but that's like saying that noted child psychologist Edward Kinsey, when he was like masturbating babies and observing inducing orgasms, and it's like that's okay. He's just a child psychologist. It's all right for him to do that.
Yeah,
because he was observing the effects of orgasms on babies. Because science.
The adoptive families would travel separately to the centre once a month for 12 years for IQ tests and speech analysis. The researcher would also visit their homes and film the children playing. The adoptive parents were told they were part of a child development study, but were kept in the dark about the twin triplets. I mean, they fucking people like Neubauer and Bernard would wobble on to fuck like about Joseph Mengele, but they think this is all fucking tickety blue. Is that what we're saying?
Very much. You see, it's illegal and unethical when someone you dislike does it, but it's totally okay when I do it. LOL, give me that give me that PhD and gives me that grant. Give me that Nobel Prize.
The set of triplets and 2 other sets of twins in the study have also been reunited, but it's not known if the remaining 2 sets of twins have. The controversial study has not been published, but will be in 2066, when most of the participants will be likely dead.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, child psychologists related to Dr. Kinsey.
So do you want 10 things you didn't know about twins?
Dr. Kinsey likes having sex with them.
Not identical twins are not so identical at all. After all, actually, they're not identical. From birth, identical twins have different fingerprints, different belly buttons, but as they age, their bodies change independently of each other. Duh. Oh, one example of this is the natural scent produced by each twin. A study done in the Czech Republic used 12 German Shepherd police dogs of the highest caliber to see if the dogs could tell the difference between identical twins. The scientists took scent samples from 2 sets of identical twins and 2 sets of same-sex fraternal twins. Then the researchers put the samples from an individual twin pair in a lineup of 7 possibilities. Each time the dogs successfully matched the original scent to the corresponding twin. As a result, scientists have concluded the innate odour of identical twins is not the same. This may be a result of environmental factors such as an infection that could be alter an individual's odour.
Or diet. Diet's got to be part of that as well. I mean,
do you know about semi-identical twins, Hobbit?
No, that's a new concept. Explain it to me.
Identical twins are the result of a fertilised egg splitting in half. However, in rare cases, an egg can split before fertilisation. If separate sperm fertilise the eggs, the resulting babies are known as semi-identical twins. Although the splitting of an egg denotes identical twins, the separate fertilisation would mean the twins are fraternal. But while the fraternal twins share about 50% of their DNA, semi-identical twins share about 75%. In this case, the resulting twins are not really fraternal, yet not quite identical.
So 2 different eggs fertilized by 2 different sperm.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, same egg splits in half, 2 sperm.
Same egg. I see. So it's an identical egg that's been split via mitosis, and then 2 different sperm.
So that's why it's 75. So that's why they share 75%. So it's the same egg,
right? Yeah.
Plus the fact that they're fertilized at the same time.
It's just I prefer thinking of ratios, and I was just like, how does that 3/4 work with that? And it's because the mother's egg, it's same genetic information from the mother, but 2 different pieces of genetic information from the father. Yeah. The genes don't add up, man. That's the thing. They don't add up, man.
There is a biological phenomenon in which a woman absorbs, then harbours for her entire life a significant number of cells that originated in a different individual, other than from the 23 chromosomes of genetic material from each biological parent, which created her as an embryo at conception. What's this one? You ever heard of mirror? Do you know what mirror twins are, Hobbit?
Nope.
About 1/4 of all identical twins develop as mirror images of each other. The split is later than usual, about 1 to 2 weeks after fertilisation, and they form facing one another. As a result, they end up being the exact opposites of each other. One may be right-handed while the other's left-handed. The hair whorls will twirl in opposite directions, and they may have matching birthmarks on opposite sides of their bodies. In some rare and extreme cases, the organs and skeletal structures of mirror twins may reflect one another. That's fucking weird, isn't it, Hobbit?
I don't understand that. No.
That is weird. Typically, after same-sex twins are born, their DNA is tested to see if they're identical or fraternal. This also allows doctors to test how genetically similar twins are. However, scientists notice that DNA is the same in mirror image twins. Thus, the only way to tell them apart so early on is to take note of their reflecting features.
So now we've established that twins are weird as fuck. What do you think is going on? let's get into the metaphysical parts of it. What's
There's
going on?
quite a few more on this one. This is just weird stuff about twins. The twin rate is going up. Did you know this, Hobbit? I bet twins are becoming much more common in the 21st century. Between 1980 and 2003, the birth rate for twins went up by 75%, while the increased use of fertility drugs was thought to be the cause of such a steep rise. A preliminary study done in 2006 by Dr. Gary Steinman of the Long Island Jewish Medical Center showed that women who drank cow's milk were 5 times more likely to give birth to twins than their vegan counterparts. Steinman suggests that women who drink cow's milk have higher levels of the growth hormone, IGF, because farmers use this hormone to stimulate milk production in their own cows. As a result, Steinman suggests that the increased IGF promotes the release of 2 eggs at the same time, thus the higher chance of bearing fraternal twins.
There you go. So it is environmental factors well, the environmental factors causing all sorts of weird birth defects and other abnormalities to happen.
Yeah. How about this one then? While twin births are becoming more prevalent, but identical twin birth rates have remained constant across the globe, about 4 every 1,000 births. So the large variance of twin birth rates among regions is a result of an increase in fraternal births. This is important because fraternal twins can run in families. Some women are genetically predisposed to hyperovulation. As a result, some regions are well known for high twin birth rates. Benin, a West African country, currently holds the title for the highest twin birth rate, with an average of 27 twins per 1,000 births. Benin's neighbour, Nigeria, comes in close seconds with 19 sets of twins per 1,000 births. So do you think pollution could be a part of this as well then, Hobbit?
Well, when you were saying that when drinking the cow's milk in America, that where they use growth hormones on the cows, that's... Environmental factors are mutagenic.
Oh, well done, Dissident. Dissident says, my bro's missus is having twins. Hopefully nothing freaky like the ones mentioned tonight. Watch out for the silent ones that talk their own gobbledygook.
Okay, here's a thing. We can just have established straight up from the fact now, twins are weird. They're not always criminal, but they will always be weird. They are freaks. I mean, this is what I was saying. I always believe there's one soul, and it goes into a fertilized embryo, and that's when it becomes a human being. So, like, when there's a twin, it's like that soul has been split amongst 2 physical bodies.
Hobbit. It's not only the twins that are weird. The long lives of twins' mothers. Before contraception and infertility treatments, women who had twins naturally tended to have more children closer together in age. Researchers at the University of Utah determined this and other correlations in a 2011 study about twins. Using the Utah Population Database, the researchers pulled the health records of mothers from the early 1800s to the 1970s and discovered those who gave birth to twins lived longer than their counterparts who gave birth to singletons. The researchers hypothesized that mothers who gave birth to the twins have naturally stronger genes which contribute to their longer lifespan.
Well, I don't know about that. Well, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? What do you believe in?
So, a couple more. Born to be socialites, according to study published in the scientific journal PLOS ONE, twins begin to intentionally interact with one another around 14 weeks in the womb. The twins lean into one another for comfort, selectively putting their heads against the other and being extra gentle around sensitive areas like the eyes. Not only do these interactions serve to comfort one another, but they also help the twins develop their own form of non-verbal communication. This time spent in such close contact also builds a solid foundation for that quintessential connection that all twins seem to share. And then you've got the twin talk, the gobbledygook they speak to each other.
Yeah.
Apparently they have lower cognitive skills in childhood. A 1950 to 1954 study of twins born in Birmingham, United Kingdom, found that twins were more likely to have a speaking deficit in early to mid-childhood than their singleton peers.
I understand that because, like, for example, if they've done all this non-verbal communication, whereas...
They don't need to, do they?
Yeah, when you're a baby and you don't have non-verbal communication, you see everyone blabbering around you, you start mimicking their words, and eventually it's sort of like that you understand that these are words; they're not just sounds.
Yeah. But when if there's a like a telekinetic, not telekinetic, like a telepathic
so
thing to it as well, then you are going to be
when...
slower learning to speak because you don't need to, do you?
Yeah, that's it. It's both a blessing and a curse. How bizarre.
Oh, here's a bit more than cousins. When an identical twin pair marries an identical twin pair and both couples have children, their children are cousins. However, genetically speaking, they're also siblings. If a scientist were to examine the DNA of each child, the researcher would not be able to determine which couple the child belonged because both couples have exact same DNA. The children are cousins because the parents are siblings. However, their parents are identical twin siblings. The children's genetics are from the same genetic pool, so their genetics are similar in the same way that similar siblings have similar genetics. Even so, this does not mean the children will all look exactly alike. Rather, they will have the exact chance of looking like each other that regular siblings or even fraternal twins will have.
I'm still thinking about that foursome that are sharing a single bed and like having oh no. Why do they have to dress up in the same clothes as well? I mean, they're not doing themselves any favors. It's just like, yeah, we're identical twins. We're weird. Fuck you, singletons. We're part of the master race. Seek Heil. Identical twin power.
So is there actually a proper place where you can find out what Mengele, what experiments Mengele was doing, or is it all bollocks? It's going to be bollocks from the Wereaboos, and it's going to be bollocks from the Jews, isn't it?
You will never find a true account of what happened in that, the what we call the Central European excursion.
The Central European excursion.
The high adventures in Europe.
Right, so top 10 bizarre and rare types of twins. Hobbit, you ready for this one? Superfetation. Do you know what a superfetation is?
Go on, tell me.
The purpose of a woman's reproductive cycle is quite simple: get pregnant. So when that goal has been achieved, the body stops dropping eggs, shifts its attention to nurturing the fetus.
Strong, independent women don't need to have babies. You're wrong.
Yeah. This usually happens within 10 days of getting pregnant, meaning that unless multiple eggs were dropped, you're probably as pregnant as you're going to get. Probably. Superfetation is the phenomenon of a woman getting pregnant when she's already pregnant. With only 10 recorded cases of superfetation in human history, to describe it as rare would be an understatement. I think that's what happened to that. Is it the Romanian woman we talked about earlier?
No, that's not superfetation. That was two separate uteri.
Oh, shit, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a separate case. It's like, I mean, that superfetation sounds like a mule and a hinny. They are the sterile offspring of a horse and a donkey, but occasionally, like, hinnies can reproduce. It is incredibly rare, though.
The biggest risk with superfetation is that the second baby will be born prematurely when the mother goes into labour with the first child. But since the children are conceived within weeks of each other, this is not a major issue. In fact, likelihood is this happened more than we realise, that the parents simply assume the twins are because you get non-identical twins anyway, don't you? Because they're twins, it doesn't mean they're... Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever heard of heteropaternal superfecundation? Fucking hell, it's like supercalifragilistic, isn't it? Heteropaternal superfecundation.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that comes up in the pub quiz all the time.
Yeah, well, next time it comes up, you'll know what it is. Heteropaternal superfecundation is something quite atrocious. It's a rare type of... you got to do it, haven't you? Is a rare type of twins, not so much because of the genetic factors involved, but because of the mating habits of humans. This occurs when a woman has dropped 2 eggs, which are then fertilised by different men. So basically, you have to be a slut to do this, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You need to be getting some fucking pounding like a proper hag, don't you? Needless to say, it's usually, if not always, unintentional. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, really. So So
I'd
anyway,
be surprised.
yeah, heteropaternal superfecundation is something quite atrocious. It's actually quite common in other species, such as cats, where the mother simply wants to have as many babies as she can, taking as many partners as possible, like the fucking rabbit bitch, will maximise the chances that any eggs will be dropped will be fertilised. And if dad's not hanging around to help anyway, no, doesn't matter who the father is, blah, blah, blah. So that's that.
You're just dropping your eggs like a clutch of eggs. What, like a fish?
Yeah. Just dropping a clutch of eggs. Do you know what Turner twins are, Hobbit?
How to get pregnant? Oh, are they the ones that like read a book and then get like seriously into it? They're not supposed to just be a piece of fiction.
Yeah,
They base their entire political ideology on Harry Potter.
I don't know. Isn't it something to do with attacking your local postman?
The local postman had it coming.
Yeah. The sex of identical twins is as random as it would be with any normal pregnancy. During conception, an X or Y chromosome, bigot, from the sperm fuses with an X chromosome in the egg, producing either XY male, bigot, or XX female, bigot. So when an egg is fertilised, the sex is determined immediately and the egg later splits up into two children of the same sex. However, an unrelated medical condition can cause identical twins to be born different sexes. Mosaic Turner syndrome is when developing fetus loses its second chromosome early on in development due to genetic abnormalities. Such people are classified as XO. Since there is no Y chromosome there to make them male, they end up female. When born, the twins will simply look like opposite-sex fraternal twins, although women with Turner syndrome will have developmental and reproductive issues as she grows, meaning the phenomenon is usually identified eventually. Touchingly, the fact there is another fetus in the womb gives the one with MTS a better chance of survival.
So is that like half of a Downey because they got like half the chromosomes of a normal human being, whereas Downeys have got extra chromosomes?
No, it's basically a woman with XO.
That is strange. I mean, I didn't even think that'd be
basically
possible.
it's like default female, I think. So basically, when you're So basically, you know your XX or XY, what they're saying is you end up as XO, and because there's no Y chromosome, you're default female or something. Is that what they're trying to say? Do you want to read it for yourself?
Do I have to?
I
know I'm the co-host of this show, but I'm like, I think you explain it adequately enough, and just like
sometimes it makes more. It's number 8, Turner twins. I just thought it might make more sense if you read it yourself, but that's the way I'm reading it.
What I'll do is, I do recommend it. Do remember, this is a podcast available on all good podcast shops. You can listen back to the show again, which is what I'll be doing, especially the Rendlesham Forest episode, because
that was super serious. I think I was a bit upset with that. I thought we could have had some fun with that one.
Yeah, I know, but we did have to focus on the serious subject matter.
Yeah.
So we'll have fun on other shows.
Right, so you got semi-identical twins. You ever heard of semi? Well, they're all kind of semi, because can't you tell them apart most of the time?
You just had a semi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we already did semi-identical twins.
No, we haven't actually. No, they were. Oh bollocks! You're gonna make me look it up again, aren't you?
I'm not saying
heteropaternal superfecundation again.
Women,
even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Apparently, women with Turner syndrome die quicker as well. They have a lower life expectancy.
Well, they're kind of they're kind of weird. They're kind of like women with some bits missing, aren't they? I think is how I read it.
Well, they're not real women.
No, they're just as real as you or I.
Bigot. Fucking hell.
Bigot.
You bigot.
Failure of the ovaries to develop and heart defects. I'm sorry, but if your ovaries fail to develop, then you can't call yourself a real woman, can you?
Are you bigot?
Real women,
Trans women are just as real as real women.
I don't care. I don't care.
Right, so
Oh,
as we already know, identical twins form when a sperm penetrates an egg. A sperm penetrates an egg, and in the early stages of development, the egg splits in two. Since it was the same sperm and the same egg, the result is their genetic makeup is identical. Although different sperm can carry different genetic information, once an egg has been fertilised, it cannot be fertilised the second time. Nothing in this game, not for two in a bed.
Every sperm is sacred.
I was doing a bullseye reference then, Hobbit. You get nothing in this game, not for two in a bed. What if two sperm manage to break their way into the egg at literally the exact moment? But you just said it can't be fertilised twice.
Well, but no, like 75% the identical.
No, that's the split egg. This is the other way round.
Oh, what? Oh my god! I'm glad I'm sober.
Oh, actually, it should be 75%, shouldn't it? You're right, Hobbit. It should be, because it's still two sperms, one egg, isn't it?
Yeah. Interdimensional Lizard said semi-identical is when the egg splits in two and both are then fertilised.
No, that was the other one.
Yeah. But in
that
this
was
case,
the other one, when the egg splits in two. This is where two sperms have gone into one egg that hasn't split, is the way I'm reading this one.
Sacred.
This is known as semi-identical twinning. It was first documented in 2007. This case first came to the doctor's attention when it was discovered that one half pair of twins was a hermaphrodite. Upon closer inspection, it transpired that two sperm from the same man had penetrated one egg simultaneously, in the most literal sense of the word. This usually results in unsuccessful pregnancy, although there have been cases where these fetuses have been carried to term. In the 2007 case, however, things went a step further and the egg split in two. This resulted in each twin getting a little bit of genetics from each sperm, making them half fraternal and half identical. Ooh, that's weird.
Now, that's a guy with some fertile sperm. It's not just one. It's just like, fuck you, I'm getting
both barrels. Too. You're getting both barrels, bitch.
Yeah. Both barrels for you, bastard.
You're not taking me alive. I ain't going to chokey. Good old Big Fern.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, Big Fern.
Big Fern, that's it, yeah.
All right then, Hobbit. Polar body twins. Do you know what they are?
Just assume I don't know what any.
I'm only halfway now. I'm at number 6 out of 10. I didn't know there was this many types of twins. I think we've kind of got bogged down in the science, haven't we?
Yeah. So let's just read them out, and I'll try and keep my opinions to a minimum.
Oh, you can keep going, because some of these I'm going to skip anyway, because some of them we've already covered. Polar body twins. Known as half-identical twins, polar body twins are a theoretical form of twins that have never actually been done. They're just making it. They're making it up, Hobbit.
There's enough weirdness now. You don't need to
make it up. Oh. They're twins that can be born with laser eyes and they can fly like Superman. No.
What if, like, you two identical twins, they have sex and you conceive at exactly the same time? Whoa, freaky, man. Yeah.
However, there is really nothing preventing this from occurring. It would just require constant observation during conception to confirm. Jesus, I bet your fucking mate would enjoy that fucking Jewish scientist.
Yeah. Or those identical twins, the what's his name again? Brie and Brianna, or something. Yeah. The photographs are so freaky. Brittany and Brianna Dean, who married Josh and Jeremy Silas. Is there a thing with like identical twins where you have to give them similar sounding names?
Don't know,
because I knew two identical twins, and their names were James and Matt. And then there was other. They're getting too doxy. I won't say their real names, but. Yeah. There was two identical twin sisters as well, and they're both fit.
So theory states that polar twins form when an egg drops, then splits in two. The smaller of the two new eggs is referred to as the polar body, which rarely survives due to a lack of cytoplasm, which is every part of a cell, excluding the nucleus. There is no reason a polar body could not be fertilised and carried to term. It would just be more of a struggle as there is less material to work with. So are the polar eggs the ones that normally get half digested and then like some Indian ends up with a head growing out the side of his head?
Oh yeah, because we haven't gone on to that stage.
Oh,
where, like,
we need to
some
talk about them because they're grim, aren't they?
twin phase.
So basically, polars share 75%. Mirror image twins we've covered. Mixed chromosome twins we've covered. Parasitic twins. That's what they. Oh fucking hell! I'm gonna have to put this picture up.
That South Park picture.
Conjoined fetus lady.
Yeah. Yeah, the South Park one's got to be in there.
Hobbit, have you seen that?
Out.
Oh, he's literally got a fucking kid hanging out of his chest.
Oh.
India's gross, isn't it?
India is just disgusting. It was a mistake. God hates India. That's why so many Indians live in misery.
Parasitic twins are a form of conjoined twins which occur when a fertilised egg fails to split properly. Unlike conjoined twins, where two distinct people with separate sets of consciousness are joined together, a parasitic twin is smaller, not fully formed, and is not a conscious being. Parasitic twins can develop anywhere on the body and can come in a variety of forms, from a small indistinct lump to a second defunct head. Even extra limbs growing out of different parts of the body. In some cases, removing the parasite can be quite straightforward. In others, attempting to do so could be life-threatening or simply impossible. Yeah, because there are some people that have been found like teeth in their brain and stuff like that, haven't they?
Yeah, I was feeling hungry. I don't feel hungry anymore.
Yeah. So heteromaternal twins. So we've established that twins can have different fathers, but it turns out they can technically have different mothers too. There's been only one instance of this in 2007, and obviously it's an Indian, isn't it?
How does that work? They got like separate wombs. What?
Don't just put the egg in the wrong box. Fuck. That's just basically it.
What?
Oh, okay. Then this is even fucking. This is even more 2021. There has only been one instance of this in 2007. It was really the mother of all coincidences. After struggling for 12 years to conceive a second child, the Bernabas decided to undergo both IVF and surrogacy. Against all odds, the fertilised eggs took hold in both women, meaning that Mrs. Bernaba and her surrogate Mrs. Key were each carrying one half of a pair of fraternal twins.
I feel sick. Ugh.
Should we try and find some parasitic twin pictures?
Can we just avoid all stuff to do with Indians ever? And then I'll be happy. Well, there's a reason I don't go to curry houses anymore, because I just don't want to deal with Indians. I can't stand. I mean, people know.
I'm sure I can find some Chinese parasitic twins for you, Hobbit, if you want.
Yeah, that'll do. They're not so hideous to look at. But Indians, I can't stand them. They are horrible, horrible creatures.
So what we got here then?
They're literal goblin demons. I mean, if Alex Jones would be like, "That's a literal goblin demon from hell."
What's the? Oh.
It's shitting in the water and it's turning the freaking frogs conjoined.
Oh, I'm so glad I ate earlier.
Yeah, I was going to go.
Heartbreaking decision to remove. Oh, fucking hell. Heartbreaking. Fuck off. Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
How many more fucking puppets do you want to give me, you cunt? Heartbreaking decision to remove parasitic twin from brother's stomach so one child can survive. Oh, sorry, Hobbit. It's Mum Hemletter Singh. Why is?
All right.
What the fuck is going on there?
No, not looking. Not looking. Well, I won't eat curry. Well, I mean, if I cook the curry myself, that's okay. But I won't go to a curry house anymore. I can't stand these people.
Well, I think the other one's dead, though, isn't it? It's not formed properly at all, is it? The twins shared a stomach and intestines, but the smaller infant had no way of surviving without his brother. Why is it always in India?
Because they shit in the water supply and it causes birth defects.
Is it for the breeding, maybe?
They've got more birth defects than any country in the world because they're all doing incest. They're all raping one another.
Oh, great. Oh, I found a new one for you. This one might be 10 people. We're just going to the freak show now. 10 people with shocking and extreme deformities. So Randy Santos, who's known as Octoman. Oh, have you seen that fucking thing hanging out?
Randy Santos. I mean,
sorry, Rudy Santos, not Randy Santos. Rudy Santos. That's not much better, I know.
These aren't real names.
It's what his kid's going to be like.
Frithwolf says, evening, Daisy. I was going to watch later, but I thought I'd stick my head in. Brucey Kibbets has gone, ah!
I don't blame him. I mean,
what the fuck is going on? Is that a nipple? Is that a nipple? Mate,
I've got it on the...
Me opening.
I've actually got the screen minimised. I'm not looking at it. I've just scrolled down so I can see like the first 2 lines of chat. And, oh my god! And there's Manar Maged, obviously. Have a guess which country she was. Oh, Cairo. Fucking hell, we got an Arab one. This is literally like, imagine like conjoined twins, but they're joined at the head, and the other one's one of those resuscitation dummies. You just, I think you can overlap these cojoined twin things, what you're doing now, with like map of consanguinity levels in the world.
Well, this is Cairo, isn't it? So there's probably a lot of cousin loving.
Consanguinity and cojoined twins go together like lentil dal.
Oh, they're just red. Oh my god, Turtle Boy. Oh.
No, not looking. No.
Mandy Sellers with a big fucking Guy Fawkes leg.
I think you need to put like some warning in the description. Warning.
Oh my fucking word! Look at that one. The kid's head looks like a lemon.
No, you're telling me not to look at it. I'm not looking at it.
Patero Katonga is a boy from a small rural town in Uganda who suffers from Cruzon syndrome. It's just like imagine like black man with head that's shaped like a lemon. It looks like the worst Photoshop ever.
No, not.
You've got to have a look at it. You've got to look at this.
That said,
Brucey Kimmett said he looks like he has a goat on his lap.
Is that one of the sons of Uganda's ugliest man, who's now like a father of 8 children?
Doesn't say.
Or was it Ghana's ugliest man?
Cruzon syndrome causes a malformation of the skull, which in turn pushes the eyeballs out of their sockets and the ears down, leading to problems with sight and hearing. No shit.
It reminds me of like in Adventure Time, one of the characters in it's called Mr. Lemonhead, and he was just like really awful. And then
it looks like
they send him.
You seen this? I don't even know what to describe. I can't even describe that.
I really don't want to look at these freaks.
Tree Man. Have you seen the Tree Man, Peter? Man?
No, don't want to look.
Oh, he looks normal. What the fuck's wrong with him?
It's
Oh, he's a parasitic twin kid.
I mean, it was bad enough when I was watching Total Recon. I was like, oh yeah, the Martian atmosphere causes mutations, and that's why Queeg or whatever its name is.
Do Indian people live on Mars? Is that what we're going to find out? Is it the cheap domes? Is that what's going on in India?
When the Mars rover starts getting shit, maybe that's why like the Martian atmosphere is all red all the time, because it's just dried shit particles floating in the atmosphere.
I've just found Ebaum's World, Parasitic Twins.
Is Ebaum's World still like up? And is Newground still up?
Ebaum's World is. So there's Myrtle Corbin, who was born in Lincoln County, Tennessee. She's got 4 legs. It's always good to have a couple of spares, isn't it?
How does she smell? Terrible.
Yeah. So we got
she's got a nose. Okay.
Some dude born in Rome who's got like something hanging out of him. Oh, there's Jake the Peg. Do Jake the Peg with a big extra leg.
Oh yeah. Remember when we could have these sorts of awesome
there's a
shows
Canadian one then. Pollution must have something to do with this then, mustn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because the old ones are like Georgia. These are old ones, and they're like Georgia, Canada, She's got, I don't know, what, something hanging out of her. Oh, God knows.
Probably before modern environmental regulations came in.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
They got like lead paint in the water supply, and it's causing mutagenic effects.
Yeah, there's got to be something like that, isn't there?
Well, yeah.
Oh my God, there are types of parasitic twins.
Ugh.
Types of parasitic twins. Fetus in fetu. This kind of parasitic twin is enclosed in the body of the dormant twin. Fetus in fetu is difficult to establish in babies with an ultrasound scan, and in most cases established after birth or even long after that. Sometimes this type of parasitic twin is mistaken for tumours too. However, it's a very rare occurrence. If the twin is not enclosed in the body, it may get attached to the dominant twin externally at any part of the body. Therefore, the type of parasitic twin can also be described according to the location of the attachment. Because I assume normally that the second twin will get absorbed and gone throughout the body of the larger twin, won't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. There is like, it's not autophagy because it's not the body eating itself, but there is like a twinophagy where they can die in the womb and then the other one takes over.
Yeah, because sometimes as well. Oh my God. Some of these are quite funny, these attachments. This one called Pogomelia, location of attachment, attached to the buttocks. The limbs may appear like a pseudo tail. Oh Jesus! Oh, yeah. I needed something that was going to make me laugh there. So unlike so what have you got? So difference between parasitic twin and other twin types. Parasitic twin versus conjoined twin, also known as symmetrical twins. Conjoined twins are the twins who have fully functional developed brains, unlike parasitic twins.
Parasitic twins, also known as Semitic twins.
Yeah. Conjoined twins share body parts or organs with each other, but are two different individuals. In some cases, conjoined twins can be separated, blah, blah, blah. Parasitic twin versus vanishing twins. Unlike parasitic twins, which are identical twins, vanishing twins can be either identical or fraternal twins. Also known as vanishing twin syndrome or embolization syndrome, these twins are mostly established during the early ultrasound, where fetal heartbeats confirm the presence of twins. However, the later ultrasounds will eventually indicate one heartbeat as the vanishing twin gets absorbed by the other twin. Sounds like something like The Thing, doesn't it?
I was just thinking it's
women are gross, Hobbit. Women are gross. All this stuff happens inside women.
Yeah, but gays aren't exactly clean, so... Human beings are gross, there we go.
Yeah. So, how are parasitic twins formed? There are very limited studies available. Each one offers unique and different findings. However, many researchers have dug deep into finding how exactly this type of twins gets formed. The first and foremost thing to remember here is that parasitic twins are identical twins, which means a single cell gets fertilised, splits into two cells soon after the process of fertilisation. This results in two separate fetuses. Aren't they feti? Feti? What's the...
It's like, is it viruses or viri?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
However, in the process, if an egg fails to separate from the other completely, it can result in conjoined twins. In some cases, one of the fetuses starts absorbing the other during the early developmental stage. The fetus that gets partially absorbed by the other fetus stops developing and thus turns parasitic. On the other hand, the other twin keeps developing in a normal way and takes the form of the dominant twin. There are many different opinions and theories, including vascular compromise in utero, gross deformity, and other such phenomena, but what exactly leads to the formation of parasitic twins cannot be clearly stated or supported. That's because they don't want to. That's because they might have to say it's something to do with brown people being grim.
They are horrible.
Basically. It's like all these kids like fucking shit growing out their heads, fucking horns, like goats with two heads, all this
look
kind
like
of shit.
The devil.
Yeah,
the devil.
Yeah.
All I'm learning from this is that, like, you know, these third world shitholes are like holes of shit, and this is what you get from them.
Yeah. I can't counter signal you on that one. 12 fascinating facts about parasitic twins.
They happen in brown countries called shitholes.
Oh, this looks. I'll put this one up because there's quite an amusing photo that looks like it was from the Middle Ages. Yeah, because it's amazing how, like, we stopped having these kind of things like about 100 years ago.
What, around about the same time we developed modern sewage systems?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It's funny how the two things tend to coincide, Hobbit. It's just a coincidence.
Oh, that's another thing that sort of pissed me off. Like, all these people trying to tout, like, the reason we've eliminated so many diseases in the 20th century was because of vaccination. It's like,
yeah,
you do realise, like, all these diseases, they were going down before the vaccinations. What other major technology apart from vaccination do we do in the 20th century? What, modern sewerage? Oh, yeah. But that's not as glamorous as vaccines.
So, also called heterophagous twins, parasitic twins are very rare anomalies. The likely occurrence of parasitic twins lies around one per 1 million live births, notably smaller than the rate of conjoined twins, which is about 1 in 50,000 to 1 in 200,000. These numbers are an estimate, given the difficulty of establishing an accurate global count. What, you mean keeping up with counting the ones in India? Or China.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to keep count in India because going into a slum somewhere and it's just like, oh yeah, there's like more freaks have been born, and oh, it's not a miscarriage. Okay.
So parasitic twins are the result of an egg that fails to split. So, parasitic twins differ from conjoined twins and vanishing twins, but the condition expresses itself in similar ways to both, although the term conjoined twins applies to parasitic twins as well.
Normally what happens is the mother has a miscarriage so that these freaks never get born, but unfortunately...
Yeah, I do wonder whether, like, modern medicine has something to do with this.
Well, since IVF,
even in India, I think it has something to do with it.
Yeah. It's fucked up. That's for sure. Don't like any of this.
Fucking hell! What is this? A parasitic twin can kill the autocyte. What is an autocyte? I'll tell you. It explains. During pregnancy, the autocyte is responsible for pumping blood and providing energy for the parasitic twin, a relationship that can prove deadly in the womb. A parasitic twin without a heart, like the one shown in here, causes twin reversed arterial perfusion sequence, or TRAP. Traps are bad.
Okay.
In which the healthy twin pumps blood in a reverse direction to the parasite. The trap may lead to premature birth and even the autocyte's heart failure, but modern medicine offers a few effective measures to prevent it. Oh no! Look at that! Humpty Dumpty with a little arm on it. Look.
I know from friends, like, miscarriage is a terribly upsetting thing, but just remember that there is a natural purpose and reason for miscarriage. Do you really want to give birth to one of these freaks? Really? Did you want that to happen?
Sometimes medical professionals mistake a parasitic twin for a tumour. For example, in 2017, what doctors thought was a tumour in a baby boy turned out to be a parasitic twin. The baby from... Can you guess, Hobbit?
Is it from Bangladesh?
It's from India. Ended up having a 2 pound twin inside of him, comprised of eyes and masses of skin. Oh.
Yeah, you know what, the thing wasn't set in Antarctica. It should have been set in India.
Hobbit doctors have removed entire parasitic heads from people. Complete this sentence. When a baby in
India
came out of the womb in 2017 with a full head attached to her torso, it needed to be removed to save her life. Incredibly developed, the head possessed an entire face. Along with the head, the parasitic twin also had undeveloped hands that hung over her chest. The head and hand were removed with success, and the recovery process is reportedly going smoothly. Surgeons successfully
India, why are you so nasty?
It's grim. Fucking hell. Surgeons successfully removed a parasitic twin from a 10-month-old patient in 2017. Dominique was born with 2 spines and 4 legs.
Hey, that's fucked up. You know,
Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man can. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't, because he's inbred. Watch out!
Oh dear. 14-year-old girl. Hold on, Hobbit.
Kelly.
We've got one that bucks the trend. Go on then, Hobbit.
Sean Kelly's asked, does Jedward count as parasitic twins?
14-year-old. No, because they fight. Is it PA they had a go at? Who did they have a go at?
Oh, Jedward versus Mark Collett. I would pay to see that fight.
I reckon they kick the fuck out of him, I do.
I would love to kick the shit out of him all up and down the Old Kent Road.
Yeah. So, a 14-year-old girl lived her whole life with a parasitic twin grown from her chest. One 14-year-old girl from
India,
the Philippines, has lived her whole life with a parasitic twin emerging from her chest. Veronica Dominguez, that sounds like a joke name. A parasitic twin consists of an underdeveloped torso, arms, hands, and even fingers with fingernails, which she has to trim. Oh no! The liquid coming out of the underdeveloped torso smells much like human waste. Oh no! Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
surely
oh my God, this is how shit it is in the Philippines. In 2018, locals raised money for Dominguez to travel to Thailand, where she'll undergo an operation for the parasitic twins. How shit has your country got to be where Thailand is more advanced?
Welcome to the Philippines.
A girl had a second parasitic head that could smile and blink. Oh. An extraordinary developed parasite head grew out of a young Egyptian girl's head. Attached at Maynard Maged's skull, the vestigial head was capable of smiling and I saw this one earlier. Blinking. Maged underwent surgery in 2005 to remove the parasitic head, and the operation proved a success. However, a year after the surgery, she died of a brain infection. So it wasn't a fucking success then, was it?
Surprise, surprise.
Success, we've removed your cancer, but there's bad news, you're gonna die.
Yeah, but the doctor couldn't be bothered to fucking wash his hands after he went for a shit, so you're gonna die.
Well, hey, that's racist. You know, you're right. That's cultural appropriation. Their standards of hygiene are different to yours, and it's not to say that's incorrect. Just because she had an infection caused by, you bigot.
How dare you?
I mean, people dying of infections after surgery. I thought we got rid of that in the 1500s.
Well, the doctors didn't. Yeah, that's
it's
the point.
Still
doctors
the 1500s in India.
Yeah, no, that was Cairo.
The 1500s is yet to happen in India.
Yeah. So, a superstitious family intended to kill their baby born with a parasitic twin. After giving birth to a child with a parasitic twin in 2017, a couple from which country, Hobbit?
Yeah.
India. An Indian couple planned on throwing their newborn into a river. Although the baby appeared healthy, the family and the child was so superstitious and wanted to kill him due to the condition. He was born with extra legs, hands, and genitalia attached to his torso.
You know what? That's probably not a bad idea.
So unsuperstitious, Dr. Parveen Mather, a doctor who conducted a similar surgery just months before, moved the baby to a nearby hospital where the extra appendages was successfully removed.
And then the baby was killed because they're like, we wanted to kill a baby anyway. It's for Kali. We're going to sacrifice the baby to Kali because that's part of our culture. You got to respect our culture. For Kali Ma, or Mum Shibai, or Mum Shibai.
Yeah, that's how they get rid of him now, don't they? Num Shibai, Num Shibai.
Yeah.
Punish John Kelly. Dr. Dangerfield is ready to see.
Oh God!
All right, Squabs. All right, Squabs. How we doing? Oh, look, you got some genitalia coming out your head. What the fuck's going on there, son? Oh dear! I think I've decided that Parasitic Twins seem to be uniquely a fucking third world shithole fucking thing, don't they?
I mean, if you do all these co-sanguineous, all these co-joined twins and rates of them, and then you overlay it on the map of co-sanguineous marriages and things, I would think you'll find 100-1-to-1 overlap.
Yeah.
Not sure why you'll find that, but it just must be my bigoted racism.
No idea. I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the inbreeding, the rape, and the bad sanitary conditions.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. What the? Oh. I'm not going to show this one because it's got like naked shit. I'll rephrase that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got children naked with their extra limbs and stuff on, so I won't put it up on.
I was going to say it must be bad to you. You won't show it.
Putting right off me chipolatas. That has. It's from Science. It's from Science Direct. It's a. Yeah, if anyone wants to have a look, there you go. Let's link to it.
Well, I suggest you don't.
Yeah, you could go right there. You could go there right now, but Jesus Christ.
I suggest you don't.
It's literally one of those things where you probably have to print it out and like twist it round and have a good scratch of your head and try and work out which way up it's supposed to go. Oh God.
Just wow.
Oh. Here's one from The Sun. Twin removed in op. Girl with parasitic twin growing inside her body that stopped her eating and drinking as the 8-pound mound of flesh and bone removed. The tot from which country?
India.
India.
Oh, Jesus. The Indian tot's twin with living inside her body and living off her blood.
Yeah.
Fucking
twin.
Jesus Christ. Little Nisha was having trouble breathing and feeding, had a huge swollen stomach, was unable to gain weight because the fetus was crushing her organs.
Based.
Ugh. What an evil bitch.
I don't know what else to say, so I just said based.
It looks like a pair of bollocks.
Based on the truth.
It looks like a pair of bollocks. I'll put it up. This fucking twin thing they took off, it looks like a pair of bollocks. It really does. Where is it?
Why just all this stuff reminds me of South Park?
Has issues with like.
Look, there it is. That's what was growing inside her.
That is. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Indian Ralph says he didn't make the class accent graph. Does anyone have a copy?
Yeah, I've got it somewhere. God knows where, but yeah, I have it somewhere.
Did you fucking make it, divvy little spag?
It's literally got his fucking logo on it, the bell end.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm. What am I? I'm high IQ fucking poor person, aren't I?
Yeah, you're a high IQ.
Yeah, you're high IQ.
So have you been watching or listening to this film? You could go there right now, but I suggest you don't.
I've been feeling quite queasy from this.
Yeah.
Oh, are you on about Rolf? Yeah.
I don't think I want the
actually, we're on about Rolf's cousin brothers.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking somehow we ended. Somehow I don't know why I let it get stuck into this. We seem to have gone into a cul-de-sac about parasitic twins. Oh God.
Quite common in Israel, I hear.
Riyadh. I found one in Riyadh. I booked the trend.
Oh, Riyadh. Riyadh. Riyadh.
Where's Riyadh? Oh, Saudi.
Riyadh.
Found one in
Yeah.
Saudi. That's a cousin brother then, isn't it?
Cousin brother. In Shalab.
Yeah. Right, so I think that's done us for tonight, isn't it? I think I'm going to go and puke.
I'm
I'm going to go and be sick.
Yes.
Night off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't get nightmares, please. If you've been affected by any of the events in today's show,
Yeah.
you can contact BBC. And,
You could go there
say,
right now. If you are thinking of going into the India, you could go there right now, but I suggest you don't.
Yeah.